At the beginning of race week, I couldn't even walk without pain, and I was 99% sure that the Tokyo Marathon dream was over. Now, fast forward to the start line, and I find myself dropping 3-minute Ks on track for a 2:08. You know what they say, when in Japan. So we're 2 weeks out from Tokyo Marathon. I've got a key session today. It was looking like I was gonna have to do it solo, I was thinking, because I don't go on the training camp with the ND Soft Boys until next week. So I was looking like, oh, this is gonna be an absolute grind. But one of my mates has come in clutch with the group run. So Yamashita, who I've run with loads before, we're actually so similar over all the distances, and he's aiming for probably similar, about 2:12, I think, at Tokyo Marathon. He's organised a little squad meetup here for guys targeting Tokyo, aiming for similar times to us. And so I'm not sure how many people are going to show up, but it means that I'm actually going to have a group to run with today. Now the only trouble is, it's over at this lake in Saitama. I've headed out from Tokyo, about an hour away. Managed to get on the wrong bus. I wasn't concentrating, headed completely the wrong direction. So I'm power walking back now towards the park. We're kicking off at 9:15, which is when the Tokyo Marathon would actually start. And we've got a lovely little session on the cards. So this is a pretty classic one in the Japanese training model. The final big sesh, 2 weeks out from race day, a 30k race simulation. Now, to prepare for the suicidal pace that every Japanese race goes out at, we kicked off this run with a hard 3k at 3:03 pace. Spoiler alert, this actually ended up being slow in comparison to Tokyo Marathon. But then we settled into a comfy rhythm of just under 3:20 per K. The squad here was quality, and it felt so easy just cruising around this lake. Then when we got to 25k, it was a free-for-all, and the reins were off to pick up the pace, and I managed to knock out a 15:15 5k to finish. The work was done. This marathon block all wrapped up, nothing could possibly get in the way of me and a PB now. So when it's the first thing in the morning, and instead of being out there pounding pavements, I'm strolling along, filming a little YouTube video, you know something has gone horribly wrong. So you know I had that 30k run, all went great, smooth, no problems. The next day then, so this was yesterday, I was doing a couple exercises, some lunges and stuff before my next run, and suddenly my left knee was just started killing me. And I tried running, I got out, but during the whole time my knee was just hurting. And I've realised it's the exact same problem as what happened a year ago after Tokyo Marathon before. I got patellar tendonitis from the race, and I'm pretty certain the exact same thing has happened from doing that 30k. Usually I'm always running on flat ground, like especially recently with the training camps, all dead flat. But where we did this 30k, every lap had 3 of these pretty solid up and down hills, like quite steep going over these bridges. And I think in total I did about 20 of these hills because it was just this lap course. And what's happened when you fly down a hill, that I think is where the problems come up, because that puts loads more strain on the quads, like they get battered. So actually now my quads are so tender. And then when the quads are destroyed, that means the knee gets all this pressure on it. And this isn't one of those little niggles you can just run through. So this is the biggest concern with this one. Usually, obviously, I'd just like keep running, little pain here and there, no problem. But I know from last year, this one is an absolute nightmare. There's no beating this one just with the mental game, because last year I tried running through it. Within a couple of days, I'm crippled completely, like cannot run at all. I couldn't even walk upstairs. So this morning I'm trying to play it safe, complete day off, no running at all. I know exactly how to attack this one. From last year, how I dealt with it, I managed to get it under control within maybe a week, 10 days. Trouble is, I don't have a week or 10 days. If I take that off, Tokyo Marathon's off the cards. Bang, it's over. So this is serious crunch time. Now, cross training was also a no-go. It was bending my knee, it was agony. So all I could do was just smash the rehab and pray to the marathon gods for mercy. So this is the moment of truth. This could decide whether I run Tokyo or not. I'm about to start my watch, head out on my first run in a couple of days. I fully rested, had to take that time off. And now we'll see if the knees come good. I can't feel it walking around, so it has massively improved, but I'm actually so nervous. Let's get this going. Any weird feeling, then I've just got to stop immediately, because that could compromise London Marathon if I bust this thing up again. And obviously that's the main goal. Tokyo is just a stepping stone on this quest for that sub 2:10 dream. Now what's mad is that just from 2 days off, feels like I'm completely relearning how to run. This always happens. I know people are like, oh, it's only a couple of days off, bounce straight back. Not when you're used to running 40k every day. That's when taking time off is absolutely fatal. That's the safest way to never get injured. Absolutely hammer the mileage and turn those legs into thunder thighs. So there we go, I managed to survive the run. It actually feels okay now. It didn't get any worse than like a 0.5 out of 10. Like I was probably monitoring it. Didn't get painful, just felt a little bit weird. So what I've got to do now is basically try and come back later, do another little run. We'll see if it's feeling okay. And then tomorrow I'm gonna try and do my final hard session of the block because I just don't feel comfy going into Tokyo without actually ripping some marathon pace work. But so much for that final session. What I thought was just a phantom pain took a sinister turn later that day and I was crippled once again. The strategy of run through every niggle until the body adapts, which has been a foolproof plan up until now, had finally let me down, and this crafty knee wasn't going down without a fight. So I'm back in Chiba for another training camp with ND Soft, and so far the training has looked like this. I'm out on a little stroll. Yeah, not ideal. When I should be pounding pavements, instead I'm just plodding along. And you know something's got to have gone very wrong to put me out of action because I do not get injured. Nothing stops me from running. What's so frustrating about this knee thing is that it seems completely fine. Like I'm walking around here, absolutely no problem. I can't feel it. Even jogging, like I can start a run and it's absolutely fine. It feels like, oh, I'm back, let's go. Tokyo Marathon's on the cards. And then it just creeps up out of nowhere. It will start twinging and then a couple K later, it's like, bang, I'm completely gone. It happened yesterday, actually. I had a couple days back, sort of easy jogging, and then I thought I'd jump in with the group for one of their group jogs, you know, the classic 4-minute pace or under. And getting going, yeah, I'm like, this is fine. Actually, the effort, mate, I genuinely felt like I was going flat out, like it was marathon effort going 4-minute a K. That's how banged up my body gets after a few days off. But then a real problem came at about 3K into that run. Knee starts hurting. Couple K later at 5K, I just had to call it, like pull the plug. So yeah, it's very, very frustrating. Right now, we're 1 week out from Tokyo Marathon. At this point, it's looking pretty unlikely. I'm like 90% sure I'm gonna have to pull the plug on Tokyo and just switch it to London, make that my focus. Because the danger is as well, even if I completely rest up, freshen up for Tokyo, then I run it, I could end up busting up my knee even worse. And if I don't end up getting a PB, then I gain nothing from it. So it might just put me out of action for like 2-3 weeks, whatever. And then the London Marathon is off the cards. And that's obviously the most important one because I'm pretty confident. Well, no, I know for certain, whatever I run at Tokyo Marathon, I'll go quicker at London. Actually, you'll see, I guess, in the next video, I've got some massive announcements to make, but because of them, I think whatever happens now, in a few months' time or a few years' time even, I'm gonna be so much quicker. It's part of the reason, actually, because of this big change that I wanted to really do Tokyo, because this is gonna be my last ever Tokyo Marathon as a local. I'll never get another opportunity to do that home race right there. That's all I'm saying. Little teaser there. So I might not be able to run on this training camp, but at least I can tick off another thing. I can come back to this Scran spot here. It was the Scran to Japan that never happened, the one that got away, but I can finally try this ice cream vending machine that I wanted to before. I've come back with a crisp 1,000 yen note. Do you remember last time? I couldn't end up paying because I didn't have the cash and they didn't accept card, but I really wanted to give this little tomato ice cream a go. Tomato and basil, crazy flavor. We have to see if it gets that Scran to Japan seal of approval. But before I could do so, it seemed the appearance of a wild ginger guy in this quiet seaside town had caught the attention of the locals. YouTube チャンネルあります。はいはい。あ、お願いします。チャンネルな名前Run to Japan ありがとうございます。日本語上手ね。いや日本語まだまだです。いや今美味しいアイス食べたいです。ぜひぜひ。はい、ありがとうございます。またね。She started recommending. She said the coffee was a good shout. Also the sweet potato flavour. Oh, I kind of want to try this tomato. I feel like I've got to stick to that one. Okay, we're in business. It's accepted the sweet cash money. Let's go number 3. Let's have a look what we've got here. Yeah, all right, it's a lovely sunny day right now. I've got my tomato and basil ice cream. First taste. Let's give it a go. Oh, that is so weird. Oh, it's so weird. I don't know what I was expecting, but genuinely tastes like I'm eating a pizza in ice cream form. I can't work out if I like it. I don't even know how to score this one. I can't say I love it. Can't decide if I hate it though either. It had to be done though. You've got to try the weird flavors when you come to Japan. Like coffee, yeah, it's good. Banana, all of that, but we can get that abroad. We need to try something unique. And this tomato, it's being advertised here on the flag. This is clearly the local specialty. Yeah, I feel like the more I taste it, the more I dislike it. It's a rare miss for the Japanese scran. Drops Farm, I'm sorry, I'm sure you got some great flavours, but tomato and basil, that gets a pass from me. So all in all, a bit of a shocker of a training camp. The ND Soft team were legends though, and the coaches and physio gave advice on my comeback plan. I managed to get through a couple easy jogs and headed back to Tokyo with a tiny sliver of hope of a marathon miracle. I then had a few shakeout runs on the Friday and Saturday, including this one with Brooks, and it was quality meeting hundreds of you guys who watched the videos. I even managed to master the Japanese photo pose. The atmosphere pre-race is unbeatable, with so many other foreigners coming to Japan for the marathon. A couple of those being my Brooks teammates, Casey Klinger, who's a 59-minute half marathoner with huge potential over the longer stuff, and Afe Zeru, who knocked out a 2:13 last year and was hungry for more this time around. So I survived this shakeout, including a couple strides, and you know what they say, if you can jog 10k, then you can race a flat-out marathon. It's the smart thing to do. God, I can't believe I'm cruising around in a t-shirt today. This is mad. Like, it's been so chilly before and then it's heated up a little bit this week. It's finally turning. Winter is officially over in Japan, but I think tomorrow it cools down a little bit, so it shouldn't be too bad. I'm just heading over now to the Elite Hotel, pick up my number, all that good stuff. And then we can get the whole kit lay, all the prep going, the bottles, sort all that stuff out. And then it's the biggest thing today. So I'm gonna find out the actual pace groups. They've got the whole technical meeting this afternoon. Then I'll actually know what the game plan is, what kind of pace I'm going to go out at, because at the moment it's completely up in the air. All depends what those pace groups are saying, where I'm going to fit in the middle, and I guess how I actually feel on race day, how the body holds up. Got my fresh trim though just now, so aerodynamics looking good, feeling good. And by feeling good, I mean my body's in absolute pieces, but we'll make it happen somehow. So yeah, having run no further than 10k and no faster than 4 minute per k pace, I thought I'd just start the race and see how long I could survive. Okay, registration sorted, we're good to go. I'm now just cruising along on my bike. I'm trying to rest the legs, and now I've just got to go into pure chill mode, do absolutely nothing. And obviously the most important step, the carbo load. That's actually where I'm heading now. I thought I don't want to change things up on race day. I've got to keep it with the absolute classic scran, so you should know where we're heading right now. The carbo loading go-to in Japan. Oh yes, it's Yoshinoya. They've never done me wrong before, and this is the perfect time for the unlimited rice bowls. And this time around, I bought all the way into the Japanese traditions. Unagi, a grilled eel with sticky sauce, is thought to bring stamina to the consumer and is often eaten by marathoners before they go to battle. Then of course, a few side dishes and the non-negotiable, multiple free rice refills. All right, I'm nice and fueled up now. I've just been sorting out my kit and stuff. We've got the Racing Across Japan map behind me. I assume I don't need to point out where Tokyo is. I think we all know by now. But this is a hometown race. Of course, Tokyo, we've had the OG Tokyo Marathon last year where I set my PB, but left a whole lot more on the table. I wanted so much quicker, and so maybe this year I can go for redemption. I gotta say though, last year I came in a whole lot more confident than now. But let's have a look. What have we got right here? A fresh new look. We're revealing, oh yes, Brooks' new racing kit. Look at that tasty light blue color. That is extra cheeky to go with the Hyperion 6. Got my shot of Nomio there. Hello, get that in. Koros as well, who've been supporting me. And then my elite athlete pass, certified Jacob Barraclough, Team RFA Japan. Okay, this is the moment of truth. They're just about to announce the pacemakers. They've gone through all the other details. Obviously, the men are going to be way too quick. Actually, it looks like here, the slowest male pacemaker is going 2:59 a k. So that's like 2:05 marathon pace. That's the absolute slowest. But what about the women's group who I ran with last year when I set my 2:14 PB? Ah, man, that is not ideal. That was not what I was expecting at all. I'd seen the list of women entrants. It was pretty much all the girls that ran it last year. And we had a pacemaker going 3:08 per K, like 2:12 marathon pace. This time, the quickest women's group is going 2:16 pace. Now, I don't really know what I'm doing going in there. 2:16 is just too slow. Like if I'm trying to run a 2:13, let's say, minimum to get a PB, that's impossible off 2:16 marathon pace. I think I'm gonna have to try and find a group of Japanese guys to go with and hope there's actually a pack this time that forms somewhere around 2:10 to 2:13 kind of range. And to be fair, even 2:16 marathon pace might be too quick. It probably is. So I don't know why I'm even thinking about, 2:12, 2:13, because I'm so banged up right now, but just gotta try and go with it, see what happens. So after weighing up the options, I came to the following plan of attack, which I posted on my gram the night before the race. Not so subtle plug, if you haven't followed me there yet, then get on it. That's where you can get the breaking news. But this race wasn't about time, it was about a distance. I knew it was near impossible for me to run a PB after the injury, but I thought, let's see how long I can survive running that pace. Maybe it's 10K, maybe I can even get to halfway, but anything past that is just a bonus. This is training for London either way, so I might as well take a free swing, because whether I run 2:15 or have to drop out, it's the same result. It does nothing for me. Basically just walking, a little bit of jogging. I think let's go. So this is the elite warm-up area 1 hour before kickoff, and I'm somehow trying to convince myself that my knee can hold up, and the tightness that I'm feeling in every part of my body is just in my head. I'm here with one of the only other white guys knocking about. Do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Alex, I'm from Australia, ran with Jake a few times. But I'm probably the slowest elite in the field at 2:15 high.
Crazy. Today it sounds like we might end up in the same group potentially.
Yeah,
you're going for, no sort of set time, but probably similar range, right? Yeah.
Well, if you're feeling crap, you can just pace me.
Yeah. Take one for the team. So this was definitely the least pressure I'd ever felt coming into a marathon. Zero expectations, nothing to lose.
Jake. Hey, how you doing, man?
Good, how's you?
Yeah, little stiff. Just slowly loosening up.
So what are you doing, just 5K?
Maybe 4K easy and then 1K little kind of threshold type thing. And then a few drills and that's pretty much it. Hit the loo, try and lose a couple more kg.
So that's the classic warm-up routine, and next thing you know, I'm on the start line wondering what on earth is going on here. So the great thing here is there's a ton of guys that I've raced with before, trained with before, similar shape to me. So I know roughly, okay, what they go out at, I should be able to just go with, see what happens, because they'll also be aiming for maybe 2:10 to 2:12 kind of range. Obviously, with it being the Japanese style, they're gonna go off so much quicker than that. But still, if I want a pack, I want a group to run with, I've got to just get stuck in with them. So the gun goes off and I still can't quite believe I'm actually starting this race. Like, what am I doing? A couple of days ago, it was completely off the cards. And now I'm somehow lining up an all-out marathon attempt. But as expected, things felt pretty rough getting going. As you can imagine, going from 430 Ks the last couple of weeks to suddenly ripping a 3:01 first K, it wasn't the most pleasant feeling. But I tried to just, in that first couple K, figure out where the groups are going to form. I'm kind of checking around, like looking who's there, figure out what's the best group to go with. And it's obviously very, very quick. So we've got the stats here brought to you by Coros. I'm rocking, of course, that Coros Pace 4, the weapon on my wrist. And so we've got some great data, especially later on in the race, that we can look at. But they're bringing you those precision accurate splits. Even with all those skyscrapers and everything around Tokyo, the signal's still coming through accurate. I'm getting, nice data to the wrist. And so even though we're rolling around 302, 303 per K, and actually we go through 5K in a 15:20, which is outrageous. So that's 304 per K, 208 to 209 marathon pace, which even if I'd have had no injury, nothing coming in, I trained through perfectly. I'd have said absolute best effort at Tokyo was going to be maybe a sub 212. So to go at this pace was suicidal, but it's the Japanese way. We've got a good squad though here. I probably know at least half the guys in the pack here I'm rolling along with. And it feels hard mechanically. Like my legs are working, my hips, my hammies, the thunder thighs, all of that are so deconditioned. Like there's no sharpness at all there. But actually cardiovascularized breathing, it's not too bad. We're holding pace even through 10K. Somehow still, in fact we picked up even to 303 per K. So that was a 15-16 5K split, which physically feels hard. But what I'm thinking at this point is like, I know I'm never going to be able to finish the race at this kind of pace. Obviously, I'm not going to get even close, but I've just committed to it because if I'm going to try this absolutely impossible sub 210 attempt, this like ridiculous goal that who knows if it's even possible. I've got to at least get a feel for that race pace. I want to know how's my body wrapped, because I've never gone out anywhere near this quick in a race. This is like my half marathon pace before nearly. But it's given me more and more confidence that I'm running this pace, but it's not outrageous. So actually my heart rate's starting to stabilize now. We've got, the chorus here pulling up sort of 180, 182, which tends to be when I've ran all my PBs before, bang on about there. Like Tokyo last year, I'm about 182, something like that. So I'm in a pretty solid range. And as I said in my race preview, I thought even getting to 10K might be a real struggle. So at this point, I've almost already exceeded my expectations, and I'm just trying to hang in with the group as long as I can now, try and get as far as I can at this pace and just get a really good training stimulus. Now, it was around 19K, I just get separated from the group a little bit. They put in a slight surge and I just couldn't quite hang on at that point. But my 15 to 20K split was a 15:45. So the average pace at that point, still like 3:04 a K. I'm still on for sub 2:10 pace at 20K. The most important thing as well at this point is that I'm not getting knee pain. I was so conscious the whole time I'm running. At any point, if I feel any little twinge, niggle, anything, I'm calling it immediately, like I'm dropping out. It's not worth ruining London for this. But so far the knee's good. The rest of my body is starting to hurt a lot though. I'd say from halfway, I go through in a 65:20, which is my third quickest half marathon ever during this marathon race. And it's around this point where my groin, in fact, double akimbo groin pain come on, along with both my hips. So at least I'm balanced here, both sides, the quads as well, they're pretty battered. I just don't have that durability. I think a big part of it as well is just a lack of long runs. Like, as I said before, I haven't done a long run since November. We're now in March, so this is mad. I've not run past 30K because of the back issue, which I think now as well is finally cleared up. So I kind of feel like the work's done now. Let's just go as far as I can, holding a good solid pace. Through 25K, I'm definitely hurting a bit, but I'm still knocking out just under 310 a K. But then it was from 25 on, that was where we see the deterioration in all the sort of chorus data here. Like my stride length starts to shorten, my ground time increases, the stride height increases. So instead of going forward, pounding the pavements and flying through, I'm just laboring a fair bit. My mechanics, I'm just not smooth at all. And I just decided to enjoy it at this point. The last 5K, I'm not absolutely killing myself. There's definitely no medical tent incident here.
Let's go, Jake! Ran to Japan! Yeah!
And this was genuinely the most fun I've ever had in a race. Like, to go off with that crazy pace at the start, survival, and just see how long I could go when I thought I'd been set back so much from these 2 weeks, but to actually still get a banger training stimulus, one of the best 30Ks I've ever ran. And I've still got another 8 weeks to go for London. This gave me so much confidence. It made me realize that, the training I've been doing recently, all this 10K half marathon training has massively paid off, because I've never felt that good, that comfy running low 3-minute Ks. And now the thing is just smash out the long runs, get back on those 40, 50K long runs, build up the endurance again, the durability in my legs. And you never know, come London, that sub 210 might actually be possible. So I got to the 30K point, I thought, okay, that's enough. Don't need to do any more damage here. I'm not gonna be able to run a PB. Like, I've obviously gone off crazy pace, and jogging it in from here the rest of the day is pointless. I've got what I needed out of the Tokyo Marathon. Some people might not be able to understand, but for me coming in, this was a huge success. And pulling the plug here at 30K was definitely the right call, the smart decision, I hate to say it, but the hard work had been more than done. Now I want to say the support out on the course was just crazy, and meeting so many of you lot over this marathon weekend and having all the messages and everything coming through was just legendary as usual. So shout out to all the viewers that have been supporting this channel, and now it's just straight on to the big one, London Marathon. I need a smooth block now, but it's not a bad way to kickstart it. A 30K shakeout, my body's in one piece, and I'm feeling good. So this has been Jake with Ran to Japan. I'll catch you in the next one. Remember, train harder, not smarter.